What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we finally hit the Legend rank in the Go Battle League, and I feel like this season was particularly annoying because there's been that new system and that old system that are still in the Go Battle League, so it's just a mess between where people are playing. But luckily, here in the Competitor Cup today, using a Shadow Feraligatr team, I was able to get the job done. I feel like Shadow Feraligatr has kind of been forgotten about at least a little bit in the current season. There are so many good Water-type Pokemon and so many reasons to use other picks, but Feraligatr here is the OG Shadow Claw user. It's able to put in so much damage with the fast pressure as well as Ice Beam coverage and then Hydro Cannon, one of the best moves in the game. This thing is insane, and pairing it up with Shadow Kingdra as well as Tinkaton gave it a lot of wiggle room. But real quick, before we get into the battles, I want to ask if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into the battles and see what Shadow Gator can do. Alright, Kingdra into Carbink. Not a terrible lead, but I don't love this either. I'm going to switch out here and just try to bait something out potentially. I know Tinkaton's much better into this, and Gator, in theory, is not bad either. Okay, so I have to double bait to flip this matchup, and I don't like that at all, because they likely just call what I'm about to do here, and then I look very foolish. With that said, I think I have to go for it, so I'm going to. They do shield? Okay, so if I get a second bait through, this is good. If I don't, then it's less good. With that said, actually, maybe I don't go for the double bait, because I don't need switch advantage as much as they probably want it right now. Kingdra can fight against Carbink. So, maybe I should go for the guaranteed shield or knockout. We get a CMP, so yeah, definitely, I let this go if they end up, shielding. And I would love to get a one-shot here, too. They do shield, that's fine. We let this go. Tinkaton should be able to wall this pretty well. Kingdra can still fight back pretty well against Carbink. That does knock us out, so no extra farm by this thing, that's good news. They can't really switch out here, because they know at this point that they are in such a bad spot if they do. I kind of have to imagine the backline does have an answer for Tinkaton, though, because, man, they have disrespected it quite a bit so far. They have been Carbink Jumpluff Core, which is kind of insane to me, but maybe people run those teams nowadays. They should be at 3. I'll go for the Gigaton. Was that a catch? No, it was just, I guess, acrobatics making it so I couldn't see them. Anyway, they're at 4 right now. And this should put them close to farm down range. Yeah, we can just farm all the way down. 5, 6. We survive this acrobatics. We fairy wind down. We have a lot of energy here, which likely is good. But if it is like a Ninetales, then my Kingdra has a lot of work to do, because Ninetales is not necessarily great for us. Whoa. Wait, don't I just win? They bring in a Marowak here. Kind of surprised to see that. Maybe I should have saved this energy, actually. I probably should have, but it's still fine. I think I just go for, like, the farm down now into them. Actually, do I? I'm going to throw energy here, because at this point, Carbink can't really farm us down. So he should be in a pretty good spot. And that Jumpluff is still, like, a catch open to them this game. But 2 surfs knock him out here, so as long as I don't let a catch happen, we should be fine. Alright, big surf. Do we see a catch at any point here? It's a little hard to tell if they're, like, waiting as a Carbink, because it is such a small Pokemon. Nice. We call the catch. We're gonna get the win. Alright, that right there is why I like this team. Even our weakest matchup into Carbink can beat it. So I do like seeing that. Surf should pretty easily get the knockout here. And even if it doesn't, we have Tinkaton. There we go. GG's. Alright, next opponent. We'll see Shadow Kingdra into Shadow Ninetales. Pretty good lead matchup here. I want this to be away from my Tinkaton if I can. Which is convenient, because they bring in a Licky Licky right here. They body slam immediately. That's actually kind of a smart play. I was going to try to catch a Shadow Ball on Tinkaton, but now they're going to stall the switch clock quite a bit here by doing that. With that said, Dragon Breath damage has put them down pretty low, so that's not bad. And they might be on Earthquake, honestly, with the play they just went for. But I don't need Switch, at least not as much as they do. I have 2 Pokemon in the backline, pretty good at dealing with Ninetales. Okay, they're at 1. 2. Gigaton's not going to quite knock out from here, but it is going to hurt quite a bit, so we'll see how they play it out. I would imagine they no-shield and at some point come back in with Ninetales. Yeah, they do let that go. 2, 3. But they have to throw energy here if they don't want me to get a second move, which is also not terrible for us. Big Bulldoze. We do get a no-shield. Actually, I can just switch out here. We'll go for the Surf to guarantee a knockout or a shield. I saved my Tinkaton, which I think is pretty good for us right now. Surf will get a knockout if they let it go. They might try to call a Swift bait, but no, they do shield. But I'm also in a range right now where an Energy Ball could knock us out, which I don't love that as much, but it's still fine because we outpace him quite easily. Four. Am I really off with my counts, or is this just a Weather Ball? I think it's just a Weather Ball, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, good. And it's a Gator in the backline. Oh, or Jelly, rather, in the backline. This is looking good for us, but it's not over just yet, because I don't have a lot of charge attack pressure here with my entire team actually into this thing. But being able to switch out as quickly as I can with Shadow Claw damage should put us in a pretty good spot. 6. They likely have to let this go, because if they don't, then I just get to another one, and they do technically survive this. But we'll see. They do shield, okay. 7. Shield this up for sure. I'm outside of range where I can get one-shot by a move from the Licky Licky, at least for now. Nice, we knock out the Jelly. That was the biggest threat that I really could see here going forward, so now there is a Licky Licky with a Body Slam on it, but it's pretty low on HP. And there is a Ninetales that, at this point, is energy dry. And I still have energy on my Tinkaton, so we'll see how they play it out. They come back in Ninetales. I don't think they even get to a Energy Ball. No. But they are at 3 right now on Ninetales, so they're like 1 away from a move. But I think this is only a Body Slam, and I should survive it. Oh, okay, well, I'm a liar, I guess. But that's fine. I just Fairy Wind down, then I go for a Bulldoze, and I win that way. Let's go. Alright, Kingdra into Galarian Corsola. Interesting. A lot of things could be in the backline with this. Honestly, I'm going to switch out here. I don't want to play this out, at least not just yet. It's not an unplayable matchup, but I'd much rather land a Hydro Cannon and get Shadow Claw damage into them than just stay in and neutrally be in a pretty bad spot. They do let us reach the Hydro Cannon. They're not swapping just yet. And if this lands, which it does look like it does, now they're pretty low on HP. They're at 5, so they have a Nightshade. They're 4 away from the next. And likely they're just going to go for a shield here and then swap out into something that kind of neutrally beats us. Or not, okay. I'll throw on CMP here if I can, just to guarantee that if they do let this move through, that I'll have as much energy as possible. And if they shield it up, they are pretty low on HP. Do shield. I mean, I can get a Hydro Cannon or an Ice Beam off into the back line. Winning switch is probably not the worst thing I could do with a Ninetales, or a Tinkaton, rather, for Alligator Core. So that's what we're going to go for. We farm down. We have a lot of energy. They come in with a Waterfall Empoleon, which I think is still pretty good for us, not going to lie. Although, they will knock us out here with the next Waterfall. Hydro Cannon's going to hurt, so they probably do no-shield, yeah. But I am glad they do. I don't really have a great answer to this. Hopefully I can Dragon Breath down before they get the next move off. Okay, well, that's good. Probably. 5. The one thing I'm scared of here is, like, what if they can stall the switch clock long enough to switch back into their other guy? That would be bad. Which, honestly, looks like they probably can. I was a little bit slow on my counter swap here. So they might be able to swap back into Empoleon at some point. But if they do, that's not unplayable for us still. Actually, can they? It's going to be close. I'm 4 away, or they're 4 away from their next move. So if I'm 4 away too, I can CMP. Okay, looks like we should be able to, unless they can swap right now, which they cannot. We get the Gigaton through them. We are at -2, so maybe this doesn't knock out. But, I mean, it's still a Gigaton Hammer, super effective. Yeah, so it's enough. We're good. Now we go for the Swift here, and we get the win. All right, we got our next opponent. Kingdra into Tinkaton. Not a great lead, I will say. But I do have play against this. My Gator is my best answer, but it's also like my safe swap. So I'm going to bring it in here and see what happens. Well, guess we have found out what happens when you do that. We bait out a Pachirisu. And now that is really bad, so I don't probably win this game. Hydro Cannon does 2-shot here, but they're at a Thunder Punch. Or, I mean, I'm going to shield this up, because I do want to try to get shields down if possible. If I get shields down, maybe there's a chance here. They have to have, like, an anti-Mud Slapper. I mean, Mud Slap's not super common, but, like, they have to have an anti-ground or something in the backline, I'd have to imagine. We'll see them. They're at 5, so they have their next move. 6. Okay, they do miscount a little bit here. They could have farmed us down, but I'll take what I can here and just go for a farm down with Kingdra. I will end up taking a Thunder Punch in the process, but I'll get a lot of energy here myself. Hopefully to the point where I have a Surf coming out of this for the Tinkaton. Oh, they don't get to a move? Okay, never mind. That's good. Alright, well, still not exactly the best spot to be in, but if the final Pokemon is not good into Tinkaton, I might still be able to win this game. Okay. What are they going to throw here? If it's a Bulldoze, that's pretty bad. It's a Gigaton. Good shield. Alright. I think if they shield this up, I can't get to my next one before they get their next move. Like, their next Gigaton, that is. But they could Bulldoze us. Okay. I do get off the Surf. As long as this knocks out, I'm really fine with how this is playing out here. But if it doesn't, this could be bad. It does KO. In the back line is a Shadow K-Whack of all things. That is crazy. I don't understand this team. Maybe there's a chance here, because I do get a Gigaton Hammer off against them, and I got some fast move pressure too. So if I can farm them down, maybe there's still a chance. I get one more Fairy Wind and maybe one more Dragon Breath after this Gigaton, and I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. Oh, it just is! All right, then. All right, Kingdra into Pangoro. Whenever I see this lead, I think of the Grumpig Tinkaton backline. And if that's the case, then as long as this thing goes down, I'm happy. They're at 5, so they do have a close combat potentially right now. But they outpace us if they go straight Night Slash, so I don't know exactly what they want to do here. But if I call a Night Slash, that's pretty bad for them too. 9. I'll let this go. They do close combat. Nice play. So they're at 4. They probably switch out the second they see my Tinkaton. 5. Oh, it's a different team. So this could be bad then. 6, 7, 8. Okay, they're at 7 right now. That's a Drill Peck for sure. We'll see what's going to be in the back line here. 8, 9, 10. So they have their next move ready to go. The problem is I do kind of need this Pokemon out of the way. They are so weak this game to fighting type damage. That's annoying. 1. I can shield this up and maybe farm down. And if I can, that's good. If I can't, that's bad. Those are the 2 ways the Go Battle League works. 2, 3, 4. Okay, nice. I do farm down. And I sneak and I catch here. Big question is if they just decided to go for an instant close combat just for fun. They don't. I do catch a Night Slash. It's a Tinkaton in the back line. It's playable. Very playable. Alright, I'm going to go for a Bulldoze first. It could be a misplay. But it's a misplay I'm willing to make. They're at 8. We get a shield. No debuff. They Bulldoze us. I should have called that. 9. So 4. 5, 6, 7. Gigaton's gonna hurt. I need to get to 2 Hydro Cannons to win this game. Okay. Well, I just instantly throw a move here, right? Yeah, I think I'm fine. I'm 1 Shadow Claw away from back-to-back, and not taking the Karate Chop damage is gonna mean now I'm only taking Fairy Winds from the Tinkaton. I might be able to win this here, as long as they don't have a Bulldoze ready, which I'm pretty sure they don't. Okay, Gator. as clutch as it could have been in the back line. Oh my goodness, okay. Empoleon kind of threw a wrench in the plan. I thought it was a Grumpig as the final Pokemon, but it wasn't. But it was still Tinkaton as the last pick, so we had a lot of play. And I think with that, that's a 5-0 set here to start out the day. That's going to make us climb quite a bit here. Not quite to Legend. I don't think we are anywhere near range of the Legend rank, but maybe up into range like a 3-2 or a 4-1 could be enough. Let's see. Yeah, 2983, probably 4-1 range. See if we can do it, I guess. Next opponent, we'll see Kingdra into Florges. Not a great lead. Honestly, a little bit of a core breaker for the team. But we'll see what we can do here. I'm going to go in with my Gator, do one Dragon Breath and switch just to sync up my fast moves with them. They're at 5, likely a Trailblaze coming through right now. I think it's always worth a shield here just because I don't want to get farmed down over time, and they likely don't bait us. And they would go straight chilling after the fact if, I no-shielded that. 5. All right. 6. Wait. Do I get both shields now? I might be able to because they didn't throw in CMP there. 7? What? Okay. I guess they're just over-farming for fun. I do get both shields, and that's not bad. 8, 9, 10. So they're at back-to-back moves right now. I'll shield this up just to force more energy out of them. They're at 5. Oh, wow. Good wait by them. So they're at 7 on that Florges. 5. I do see a lot of electric types in the back line with Florges generally. We'll see what the final Pokemon's going to be. Don't get a debuff there, which is a little bit unfortunate. They're at back-to-back moves, but we should be able to force both attacks out of them. There's no way they knock us out here with one attack. But all the energy they have left over on that Florges is kind of disturbing to me. No debuffs. What is going on? If I would have got a debuff here, one of these bulldozers, like the next one, would probably knock out. But they might still throw energy here instantly anyway. They do. All right. What's going to be in the back? I don't even know what I could beat right now, but we gotta hope it's something that's not unplayably bad for us. Hey, they just instantly swap into Florges here. I mean, they showed Trailblaze, right? So there's no way they're on some crazy moveset here. I'll take the Trailblaze. Overfarm a little bit. CMP, oh no, I think they were actually 3 away, so I might have been able to overfarm by 1 more there. They likely bring back in the Stunfisk now to force a Hydro Cannon out of me. No, they don't. They bring in a Seaking, which is going to get a bit of a nightmarish farm down against us. Unfortunately, that probably wins them the game. If I was a little bit lower on HP, and I could just come in with my Kingdra right now, I might be able to win. 9, yeah, that is so much energy. They're going to get back-to-back attacks here. 10, yep. So close, actually, with how bad this team was for us. Gator put in a lot of work. Kingdra was kind of pinned, though. Not gonna lie. Yeah, so close, but so far. Even if I did get to that Swift, though, like, 1 drill run basically puts me into farm down range, so I would have had to have the Swift ready to go. Dang. GG's. We'll see Kingdra into Florges again. Okay. Well, we just saw one of these. It was a really annoying lead matchup, so I guess we'll see how to play it out now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I'll shield this up too. Hopefully they don't go for a crazy bait here. Of course they do. That's really bad. Oh, well, that's worse. They have a hard answer to us in the back line, which is not exactly what I wanted to see. So I'm debuffed, I'm down a shield, and I'm fighting a Kingdra right now. This game is probably over, but we'll see what we can do. Tinkaton at this point would have been so good in the lead, so they probably have a Ninetales in the back line. I might somehow survive a Swift and get another Ice Beam off, but even then, I don't know. Oh, I might actually, yeah. Just barely. But that doesn't help us out all that much. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, but it's not exactly the best thing that could have happened, saying I'm already getting pretty hard RPS this game. I'll bring in my Kingdra here just to build up an energy lead. I can take a Swift, and I can land Surfs into the Florges to do some sizable damage into them. I do get the full farm down. Okay. I have a catch open to me in the backline with my Gator. And I don't hate that. Five. Alright. At this point, Surf is not going to knock out, but it will put the pressure on. They do let that go. I don't know if this is quite Fairy Wind downrange for Tinkaton, but I guess I just have to hope they're triple weak to Tinkaton, or, like, at least not a hard counter to us in the backline. Oh, they Do that. Ah, okay. I don't think I can win this one. That is a crazy play, but it's probably going to work out for him. That is a super RPS team into us, though. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're at 5. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have enough in the tank right now to win. 8. I mean, I have to shield this to get the final shield from them. And then I have to go for a catch here to win this one, I think. So I'm going to do like 4 and swap. I think that's the play, because they're going to expect me to switch. Okay, so I need 4 Fairy Winds to knock this out. Which it should. Okay, now I have a move on this. And I have almost a move on my Kingdra, too. So if I can get to a Surf, I might be able to win this one. They knock us out here. I need the Surf. A Swift's not enough. We get the Surf. Oh my goodness, wait. Please tell me this knocks out. I know it's resisted, but it's an Empoleon. Come on. Come on, Kingdra. Okay. I guess we won that one. I was like saying halfway through it how RPS we were and how we're about to lose this game, but never give up, I guess. Next battle. Oh, this guy's a legend. Lucky bugger. Kingdra into Furo. Honestly, I like this lead. I do have to shield early, but getting rid of this before my Gator has to see it is always nice to see. I think they're probably going to go for a move and maybe switch out after. I could go for a Swift first, but they could easily no-shield that. It doesn't really pressure a knockout, that is, until the second one, or until I can farm up enough to do the more Dragon Breath damage against him. Alright, we'll see if we get a shield here. I would imagine not, but maybe we do. In comes a Swift. They do let it go. I should be able to farm this down now. So I have a lot of energy here. We'll see what comes in. Furo normally has a lot of normal types in the backline, so it could be like Licky Licky coming in right now. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to give the farm down over there. Probably a good thing I didn't. Marowak comes in. Or, alright, I think we're in a pretty good spot right now. This Tinkaton's going to be on the Carbink. And that's always good when that happens. Now, if this was on the new system, I would just no-shield this, because I think I survive a Bone Club here, and I barely get the next move off. Although, actually, maybe I don't. Maybe I would be trolling by doing that. Anyway, I am going to shield that up, because I think now with a Mud Slap nerf, they are forced to throw a third attack into us. Like, they can't just, like, 2 shield farm us down. A second attack, that is. I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, I think this is the play. Yeah, they can't farm us down here. And now, since they don't have energy for my Kingdra, I can make sure that they're in the middle of a Mud Slap before throwing a Surf, and if they swap out, I just bring in my Tinkaton. Yep. Now Tink starts hammering, and I like the sounds of that. Surf should pretty easily get the knockout here. They are in trouble. I'm gonna go for the Swift into the Carbink first. You might think that's a crazy BM. And, like, it's not a crazy BM, it's just, like, kind of a BM. The main reason I'm doing this is 1 Gigaton Hammer does not cleanly one-shot, so technically this chip damage is not bad for us. And now they're in Gigaton Hammer range. They might quit. But if they don't, I'm actually pretty happy with that, too, because Gigaton Hammering a Carbink is always pretty satisfying. That was either a CMP here, or they top-lefted right when I got it. I hope they didn't top-left. I want to see the knockout. Dang it. We'll take the win, though. Yo, what is this? That's a cool pick, but I don't like what I'm seeing here. Dragonrith does do a lot, but, like, I have to go for Surf to do any real damage. Actually, maybe I don't hate this. This is doing way more damage to them than I thought I would. I'm going to shield this up. There's this guy who's been running, like, a Tinkaton Golurk team. I don't know if that's what this is. It could be. And if that's the case, then I guess I don't know. We'll see, dude. I don't understand what this team is already. I'm very interested in it, though. Yeah. I don't have a great answer to Celia, so I came in Gator. Like, it's not bad necessarily, but it's not good either. 2 body slams do knock us out. They're at 5, so they're 1 past a body slam right now. I wonder if I ever, like, try to shield this. I don't farm down, so probably not. Oh, what? They miscount. That is very helpful, actually. That is a crazy thing to see. Okay, so they're at 7 right now. So 3. I think the play here is probably just come in Tinkaton and Fairy Wind down. I'll take a Surf in the process, which will hurt quite a bit, but building up energy is likely good for us. The Golurk is basically in range at this point where I could go for a Bulldoze and farm them down. And I have a lot of energy on Kingdra. Okay, it is what I thought in the back. 5. I have a lot of energy on Kingdra. I'm just going to go straight Gigaton Hammer. And as long as I don't let a catch happen, we should be in a good spot. And they did just switch out, so a catch is not really open for them just yet. 9. Okay. So at worst, they're going to be at back-to-back Bulldoze after I throw this next move. If they Bulldoze us here. But they don't. Okay, good. Shield, Gigaton. And then Gigaton should put them into Surf range. And as long as I don't let them catch a Surf from my Kingdra onto their Celio, I should be fine. They should be 3 away from a move on that Golurk. And I should either be able to get to a Surf, or at the very least, I should be able to get to a Swift. They're waiting. Nice. That was a close one. I'm glad that I beat it, though. We'll see Kingdra into Corsola. Okay. You know, we saw one of these earlier. I liked it when I safe-swapped my Feraligatr. They didn't really have a great answer for us there, so I'm going to do it again and just build up energy just in case they want to switch out after the fact. 6. So they're at 1 past the Nightshade right now. I should be able to overfarm a lot here. Like, have energy if they just let this go. Whoa, okay. Not the best timing by me. I'm going to go over 100 by doing this, but I'm actually kind of happy to bait this out. They're still at 1 on the guy, on that Corsola, so keep that in mind. That is so much damage. And I'm not even that scared of Corsola at this point. Like, I got the Shadow Claw damage chip, which is pretty cool. And they have to throw energy almost immediately here to knock us out and keep switch. So, like, what if I just let this go? And I try to go for a bold Dragon Breath down. I think that's what I want to go for. I take no waterfall damage. It's Shadow into Shadow. So, I think I get the farm out before a Drill Peck. Oh, easily, yeah. Corsola could come back in, but at this point, it's not going to put in that much work into us, because I have to put them down so much. But a Surf's not quite enough to knock out here, so I am just going to overfarm. There's a chance the final Pokemon is like a Kanto Ninetales, and if that's the case, I need to keep my Kingdra with as much energy as I can. Okay, I probably should have thrown a little bit sooner here. I went over 100, but I want to have as much energy as possible, just in case it's a Ninetales. That's like the one thing I don't want to see in the backline right now. Oh, well, it's not. Actually, I think I'm just going to win. Because I can get to 2 Surfs plus a Gigaton. And we should be fine. I think we should be fine. Like, I'm just going to switch here into Tinkaton just to force energy. They need 2 attacks to knock us out. So, yeah, I should be good. They need 2 Earthquakes, probably. Not even like a Stone Edge plus an Earthquake. Well, maybe a Stone Edge plus an Earthquake, but if they do that, that's a lot of energy down the drain. Earthquake. Yeah, not quite enough to knock us out. Okay. Okay, wait. That should be Legend. I can't believe that just happened. First 2 sets of the day, I needed a 4-1 and a 5-0 to get there. And somehow we just did it. I'm pretty sure at the very least, right? That's a 4-1, right? I'm not crazy. Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Let me make sure. It is a 4-1 set. Okay. Let's cash this in. Let's see what we're going to get here. Vulpix, love to see that. And the Elo is 30-26. Okay, that is a very good climb. Love to see it. I don't think there's anything else to say other than Shadow Feraligatr is by far one of the best Pokemon in the meta right now. Now, there are Pokemon like Kingdra that do give it a hard time, but even then, because of how much damage you have out there, with Shadow Claw, with Ice Beam, and with Hydro Cannon, even in resisted matchups, Gator can brute force its way through so many Pokemon. It's a lot of fun to use. Give it a go if you want to try to climb. But yeah, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.